In taxonomy, species names do not always reflect their true identity. Sometimes, mistakes arise from erroneous initial interpretations or incomplete observations. When a species is described under such circumstances, the error becomes immortalized in its binomial scientific name. Today we will examine the case of Oviraptor philoceratops, a fossil forever condemned by its name. For many years, it was believed that Oviraptor philoceratops preyed on the nests built by Protoceratops, another dinosaur. Because of this, it gained the reputation of being a thief. The scene was irresistible. A predator unexpectedly discovered over a clutch of eggs, an image that was repeated in books, in both scientific and sensational articles, and even in museum exhibits for decades. Thus, the egg thief caught in the act of plundering became an icon of paleontology. It all began at the flaming cliffs of the Mongolian desert, also known as Bayanzag. There, in the middle of an expedition by the American Museum of Natural History, an extraordinary fossil was uncovered, a dinosaur preserved next to a nest of fossilized eggs. Before long, those eggs were attributed to the small ceratopsian Protoceratops andrewsi, the most abundant dinosaur in the formation. The new dinosaur, believed to feed on eggs, was given the name Oviraptor philoceratops. The fossil was formally described by Henry Osborn in 1924, just as you can see here. The genus name Oviraptor comes from the Latin ovis, egg, and raptor, Caesar, signifying the egg Caesar, while the species name Philoceratops has its roots in the Greek philos, fond of, keras, horn, and ops, face, signifying fondness for ceratopsian eggs. Taken together, the name of the species means egg Caesar fond of horned face eggs. In other words, the ceratopsians. A name that reads like a sentence, heavy with error and history. As we have seen, Henry Osborn, who named the species in 1924, believed that the new dinosaur had died in the very act of stealing. Thus was born the name, Oviraptor philoceratops, a title that marked it as a villain from the day of its original description. However, it is fair to point out that Osborn warned the name he proposed may entirely mislead us as to its feeding habits and belie its character. A prophetic warning that few paid attention to. The egg thief seemed doomed forever. Everyone thought they had witnessed the crime it committed. But science always holds unexpected twists, and something never quite fit. Over time, doubts began to emerge, until in 1991 two independent studies, one by Sabath and another by Mikhailov, analyzed the microstructure of the eggshells. The result was astonishing. Those eggs did not resemble those of a ceratopsian, but rather, they looked like the eggs of a theropod. A revelation that would change the story forever. Today we know that Oviraptor philoceratops measured about 2 meters in length, stood 0.7 meters tall, and weighed around 25 kilograms. It may have run like an ostrich and used its toothless beak to crush food, and perhaps, why not, also to feed its young. The species lived in Asia during the late Cretaceous, between 75 and 71 million years ago. This theropod dinosaur is the only known species of the extinct genus Oviraptor. Traditionally, Oviraptor was depicted with a prominent crest, similar to that of a cassowary. However, later research revealed that the skull attributed to it actually belonged to Citipati, a closely related taxon. Considering their phylogenetic relationships, it is plausible that Oviraptor also bore a crest, although the absence of cranial remains prevents us from confirming its presence and morphology. But was Oviraptor philoceratops really an egg thief? In 1995, Mark Norell and colleagues published a crucial discovery: Oviraptorid embryos inside eggs that had previously been attributed to Protoceratops. The truth came to light. Oviraptor was not a thief. It was the owner of the nest. Other findings have confirmed this new perspective. Oviraptorids fossilized in brooding positions, with their feathered arms spread over the eggs, just like modern birds. Several of these studies show fossilized animals that died protecting their clutch, trapped by sandstorms some 75 million years ago in China or Mongolia. The supposed villain turned out to be one of the most devoted parents of the Cretaceous. In reality, it had died incubating its own eggs. The case of Oviraptor philoceratops reminds us that science evolves with every discovery, and that, although rare, Some scientific names preserve old interpretations that we now know to be wrong. What was once thought to be a thief turned out to be a hero, frozen in time in Mongolia for over 70 million years. Although the name of this fossil cannot be changed, do you think it deserves a posthumous compensation? What would it be? And if you could rename it, what would you call it? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe and follow the Anthropocene channel for more simple and entertaining science.